Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, May 9th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives and some great, rich television history at the top of the page of the Wayback Machine in the Video Village. And, of course, a great eye candy feature along the bottom strip here. And we are beginning our 28th year of broadcasting in St. Louis today. And all week long we're going to be featuring classic old interviews and moments from previous shows of the first 27 years of the JC radio thing, whatever that is. We're featuring today, as a matter of fact, on the Big 550 KTRS, our interview from back in '97 with David Letterman, an old interview with Jay Leno, Phil Donahue was just here a couple of years ago, Ed McMahon back in '97, Regis and Kelly back in the '90s, Bill Maher and Oprah. How many radio personalities in St. Louis do you think have had a one-on-one interview with Oprah Winfrey? Want to name them all? That's right, I'm it. So in any event, we have a lot of great old stuff. And again, I remember every single thing that happened in the first couple of weeks that I was in St. Louis. I was in Buffalo, New York, and I was working for this goonbah by the name of Jim DeFilia. This is Buffalo, New York, where the unemployment rate, I think when I got there, was something like 19%. And it was that Rust Belt stuff that was going on, and the city was really, really struggling and just falling apart, and it was ugly, and it was snowing constantly and cold. And this a-hole is driving around town in a red Pantera. Now, I believe that the sticker price on a Pantera back in those days was something like $130,000 or $160,000, one of these tricked out sports car things. And this guy was such an idiot, and this guy fired me in the men's room back in 1984, and I always tell the story that I was standing at the urinal, and he came up behind me in the urinal and said, "Well, that's it. We're just going to call it quits. This is it. You're done." And I thought to myself, well, I could just whip around and go, "What?" and just do it all over his leg, but I didn't. So I left Buffalo, and actually I was still in Buffalo for a couple of months after they pulled the plug on the show. And I had sent a lot of tapes of the show to various consultants and radio stations and everything, and I get a call from this guy who says, "How do you feel about St. Louis?" And I said, "Well, I love the Midwest. I'm from Chicago. I would like to come back because I really don't like it out east." And because I had been in Washington, D.C. and Buffalo and places like that, and East Coast mentality completely different from the Midwest. And I said, "I'd love to come back to the Midwest." And he said, "Well, how do you feel about St. Louis?" I said, "Well, fly me in." So I did the deal, came to work. And before I ever got to work, though, before they ever hired me, they stuck me in the airport Marriott for 3 days. And they said, we just want you to listen to all the radio here, and in particular, we want you to listen to KWK. There's a guy on the air by the name of Mark Close. And we want you to listen for a couple of days, and we want you to think about how you think you will do against him if we bring you in here. So after the 3 days, we went to lunch at some Chinese restaurant down on Watson Road, a little bit down from where the old Keishi studios were in Crestwood. And I told him, I said, "Well, there's either something indigenous to this community that will make me just fail miserably, or I will take St. Louis over in about a year." And they sort of laughed, and they thought that was sort of fun. And we did the deal, and I was wrong, because I took over St. Louis in about 6 months. And by the way, Mark and I are still very close friends. Just saw Mark about 3 or 4 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. We had a very, very nice chat. I wish him well, too. But it was the days of good old fast and furious competitive radio, and there's not much left of that here in this town or anywhere else in the business right now. And I will probably, as the week goes on here, as I sort of wax reminiscently about the first 27 years of my existence here in St. Louis, I'll tell you a couple more things about where the bodies are buried, where this business is going, or where it isn't going, as the case may be, and we'll sort of have a little fun with all that. But we begin our 28th year of broadcasting. And again, highlights all this week along with the lovely Trish Gazelle. You remember Trish from the river and Trish's Trash? We're on the air every day on the Big 550 KTRS. Let's just mow through a couple of quick hits here, and then we get ready to go on the air at 10 o'clock. Kate Hudson's movie, Something Borrowed, opened at number 4. The thing that it borrowed, well, I guess the plot line from every previous Kate Hudson movie. The president met with Prince Charles at the White House, reportedly some meeting of people with giant ears, I don't know. Good news, the United States economy grew by 244,000 jobs in April. The bad news, all of those jobs went to Ryan Seacrest. The Chevy Volt, it is reported now, can go weeks between fill-ups. Sadly, probably so can your wife. And how about Osama bin Laden sitting there, in $1 million? By the way, for $1 million, you would have thought the place might be a little more luxurious. What a dump! $1 million. Who's your real estate agent there, Osama? Oh, that's right. You're not here anymore. You can't hear me. But and just sitting there, and he was dyeing his beard. So the guy hadn't gone out of the compound for 5 years, and yet, the last pictures we saw of him, he had a gray beard, and then all the stuff he was recording recently, his beard is black. If you're not even leaving the house, why are you dyeing your beard? It's like, I got to do the internet thing. People do not want to see an old man on television. All right, a week and a half ago. Well, actually, let me back up. Did you see CBS Sunday Morning yesterday? Okay, so they do a little story about the happiest place in the world, happiest American city, where the residents are just content with life and everybody's happy and the quality of life is wonderful. And that town was Boulder, Colorado. So they didn't really make an overt mention to it, but they showed the list, and on one side you have the list, and at the top is Boulder, Colorado. They didn't really make any mention of the fact that on the left-hand side there was another list, and it said worst cities, and that one was led by a town called Springfield, Ohio. Well, a week and a half ago, the Hampton Inn in Springfield, Ohio had a flagpole malfunction. The maintenance guy was trying to replace the flag, but a rope broke, it got stuck at half-mast, and then it started raining. So the guy figures, okay, I'm going to wait till the rain stops. I'm going to get out a metal flagpole during a thunderstorm, so I'll just wait it out. Well, half the community went out of their mind, crazy-ass nuts, because they thought the hotel was displaying some sort of mourning for Osama bin Laden. God! And a Muslim professor from the University of Memphis was headed to Charlotte over the weekend for a conference on discrimination against Muslims. But he and his colleague were both wearing traditional Islamic dress, and they both have beards, and the pilot refused to take off while these guys were on board. Delta Airlines, get ready for a fat lawsuit. All right, Pippa Middleton, the sister of the bride of Kate Middleton, international sex symbol. She's cute. And there's some semi-racy pictures of her dancing just in a bra and stuff like that. The smut minders at Vivid Entertainment offered her $5 million if she does a porn. Nice stunt. Not like she's going to take him up on it. Last week, Charlie Sheen cleared up a long-standing rumor that he shot Kelly Preston, the actress from Jerry Maguire, and is married to John Travolta. And this was like two decades ago when they dated. And the story's been going around for a long time that somehow he shot her or she shot herself or something like that. The story that Charlie Sheen told on stage is that Charlie left a gun in his pants. She picked up the pants. The gun fell out. The thing went off and she got injured. And over the weekend, Kelly Preston said, yeah, well, he might be nuts and everything, but that's a true story. Paula Abdul, in one of the worst kept secrets in show business, will be rejoining Simon Cowell for the X Factor. L.A. Reid, Cheryl Cole, and Paula Abdul on the X Factor. Get a break. Letterman tonight has Albert Brooks. I mention that because it is widely believed in comedy circles that Albert Brooks is the funniest man in America. He has a new book called 2030, The Real Story of What Happens to America. And Albert doesn't do a lot of television appearances, but he's on with Dave tonight. You might want to check that out. Also, Kristen Wiig is on too. New on video this week, Justin Bieber, Never Say Never. Also, No Strings Attached, that awful Natalie Portman, Ashton Kutcher movie. And Blue Valentine, if you like graphic sex scenes, Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams, fulfill your desires on that thing. And the Cars new album. First new album since 1987. Now, we're not counting that new Cars thing with Todd Rundgren, and this one has Rick Ocasek. And that is the correct pronunciation, by the way. A lot of people say Ocasek, and they're wrong. We had Paulina Porizkova on, his wife, and she said it's Ocasek. And I've been saying that for years, and nobody would believe me. But anyhow, the new Cars album, I shouldn't say the new Cars, the new Cars album as opposed to the new Cars, you know what I mean. Never mind. Mike Wallace, 93 years old today. And then on 60 Minutes has been basically in retirement for about 5 years, pops up every once in a while. Andy Rooney was on last night, and while I have tremendous admiration for anybody that old, get themselves up, get dressed, get to work, and actually do something productive. Tremendous admiration. Andy Rooney looked like a cadaver last night, but it's going to happen to all of us, right? All right, JC's Eye Candy today. I guess it's only fitting since we are celebrating the 27th anniversary week that we go back to where it all began. I was hanging out with my buddy John Hewlett at the ballpark on Friday night, and our buddy Bill Greenblatt from UPI took a picture, and so we are featuring that on the Eye Candy feature, and that's right below what you're looking at right now. You'll see with two guys who have been making each other laugh for 27 years. Johnny, I miss working with you. The Dopes never understood what they had. What can we do about it? Nothing. Maybe someday, who knows? You never know in this business. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, May 9th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. 27th anniversary all this week on the Big 550 KTRS from 10 in the morning until 1. Hope you can join us. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be beautiful. See you later. Bye.